Hi, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to quickly go through the Sunlu filament dryer. I know there's been a lot of reviews on YouTube, so this is just a really quick one, and if you watch till the end, I've got a 10% discount code for the Filadryer and any other Sunlu products that you order at the same time using that code. Plus I've got a couple of mods that I've added onto my own box. Now, I have actually bought this. It's not any free sample, so let's have a look and see what's in the box. All very well packed. Put that to one side, and one filament dryer. Got a bit of tape there holding it together. There we go. Opens up nicely, and inside, right, we've got a power supply, and this is the heated element inside, so that's what's going to get hot. And you've got a couple of rollers there that the filament will roll on. Here you have a hole at the front for the filament, or that's assuming it's going to come out this way or down, and there's also an extra hole at the top which is currently plugged if your filament tends to go upwards to the extruder. Power supply socket at the back, which is 24 volt 2 amp, and obviously the display at the front. Right, power adapter. In my case it's a UK power supply, but it will be dependent on where you are in the world as to what sort of power supply you end up with. So there we go, that's the start. A quick unboxing. Now, just to show you what it looks like with a roll of filament in, there's some Prusa Mini orange. Let's pop it in. So there we go, hopefully you can see that, and that will go through. You can either have it pulling downwards or straight out, or indeed feed it through the top hole. Let's have a look at the power supply. Now, I won't use the one that's already there because I've got one here. In fact, this is an extension that I've purchased for one of these, just a 24 volt extension, because my plug was a little bit further away than I wanted. I'll leave a link to one of those in the description below. So just pop it in the base there, press the button, and we have the display there. It's already heating up. You can just quickly, if you press and hold the right button, there we go. There we go. So it starts off at 50, and then you can add it up to 55 degrees. That's the maximum it will go. The number of hours, it defaults to 6 hours. Press and hold the left button. You can see 6 hours hopefully there. And using the buttons, I can go up or down. As easy as that. It heats up very, very quickly. Press and hold for 3 seconds just to save that, and that will keep heating up to 55 degrees. I'm going to disconnect that for a moment. Now let's take this out as well so we don't have any accidents. The temperature sensor for that control panel is right at the bottom, just underneath the plate. So the actual air temperature tends to be a little bit less, but it does get obviously 55 degrees at the base. I found it very, very good. So good that I've actually got one already. So this one I've just unboxed is my second one. You can see it's slightly different. What have I done? Not too much. I've added a thermometer and a humidity sensor, so I can see exactly how well it is doing in reducing humidity. And I've added this little thing because my filament dryers sit on the top of enclosures. I've got two Tukkari enclosures here, one TS for the Mark III Prusa and one TLX for the Mini. I often have them sitting on the top there, and I want to make sure that the filament doesn't foul on the small hole there. So I've just made up this little spout. Let's pop this roll in again, just so you can get an idea. It says when I haven't actually cut the end off that from the last use, so let's chop that off. Okay, so pop that through, and then it's going down. It's not going to snag on the edge of the hole, so it goes through nicely. So I'm going to leave a link to this, and if you decide no, I want to be able to print straight out, this just slides off, and this is stuck on with some good quality double-sided adhesive, so the actual little socket there is just glued on. There are examples where they are screwed through and drilled. I've just designed this one so it will just go straight on like that, but if you don't want that, take that off and you can just use it as normal. There you go, no problem there. So I find that quite handy just to help redirect when it's sat on the top. The other thing I've seen comments about, it's great that it heats up, and if you've got particularly wet filament, you get condensation inside. Well, I've made a couple of little rollers. This was the first design, this is the second design, where you can put silica gel inside. So just unscrews, get some silica gel, pop it inside, let's screw it back up again, there we go. And it's designed to go inside Prusa Mint rolls as a minimum. Most rolls you find have actually got a larger centre. Prusa Mint ones tend to have a fairly small centre. So it's designed to fit those, and if you've got a larger roll, that's fine. It's just going to roll round inside, it'd be perfect. And there you go. So the ends there will be absorbing any moisture that is evaporating from your drying filament. So as I say, I'll leave a link to Thingiverse for that if you want to print it out, and for the redirection nozzle as well. That's probably almost about it really. I like these, so I'm not being sponsored. I haven't been provided with these. I have actually purchased both of these. I think they're really good for keeping your filament dry. Helps with stringing, or to prevent stringing. If you've got wet filament, I've found that quite often my filament becomes really brittle when it's left out. So this seems to sort that out as well. So just to show you a little bit more on this little spout feature that fits here. This is one of the printed parts. It's got a screw thread in it, and you can get a kit of these little valve things. They just simply screw in because there's a nice thread already printed, and then there's part of the kit here. The one that I've got had some PTFE tubing along with 4 of these. Cut a small length, pop it in, chop it to what you want, and on the back side on here I've actually cut another small length and used a hot glue gun just to glue it in. You don't necessarily have to have this tubing on the back part. It'll do it okay without, but I've just added it in and just used a hot glue gun, or you could use super glue indeed, I guess, just to hold that in. The tube cannot go all the way through the fitting. It will stop at a certain point. And on the back I've just used a good quality double-sided adhesive pad. You do need a good quality one, and literally put them together, pop them against the unit and made sure the tube is in the correct place as you are sticking in. Make sure it's not too high when you're doing it, so they do need to be put together when they're actually being stuck on. So in this case, if you've got double-sided adhesive there, I'd make sure the tube was against there and just very carefully line it up, make sure it's all okay, and stick it in. So there we have it. So this is an example here with the Sunlu filament dryer connected to the Tukkari case directly to the Prusa Mini, and we are using the bottom feeder rather than the top, and it will feed directly, no problem at all. And if I wanted to put it to the top of the case, I would probably use the little spout on the front and sit it so it's hanging over the top. Let's just show you that now. Here we're using the filament dryer with the spout, so you don't have to have that extra spout, but I find it quite useful. But you can just use it as standard if you want, and it's going down to the Prusa Mini in the Tukkari case. So it does show you that you can use these quite easily in an enclosure situation. If you want, say, 10% off these filament dryers and anything else on the Sunlu site, doesn't matter where you are in the world because it's a worldwide site, use the link below and you'll get 10% off. And if you like this video and want to see more videos, I've got some really interesting ones coming up, including a brand new enclosure, then please do a like and subscribe, and also share this video with friends that might be interested. Thank you very much.